Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is VTech Guy. We're going to be talking about this in particular. I gave my opinions on this as a DVD itself, Blu-ray, DVD, all of that, and how it stacks up as a $35 price range. But like I said, that's another video. So go back, watch that one. This is going to be completely spoilers on part one. We're going to rip right into it. We're going to talk about why we loved it so much and a couple things that were a little aggravating, some little splotches, I'll say that. Of course, today I'm here with the good old Brian Mallon, Lane, and Mr. Chris Mullins Sr. himself. How are you all doing today?
Pretty good.
Great.
Hey,
Good
that's pretty good. So, not even smirk from Lane. Oh. So,
God, Lane.
we find out what everyone's been doing on the first episode right off the bat. Goku, I believe, is a turnip farmer, or yeah, radish farmer. I keep on saying turnip. It's radishes. I don't know the difference, but yeah. So he's out there with Goten. It's the little small dude. Him. Like I said, GT never happens. All right. Battle of Gods movie never happens. Resurrection of F movie never happens. This is right after. It
kicks off right after Boo.
Yeah, this is right after Boo. Give or take a couple years. The story is Goku has lost all his money. All right, he can't fight no more. He has to actually be a working man. Chi-Chi ain't having it. Yes, that is the name of his wife. If you're just now joining us as a Dragon Ball fan, for Dragon Ball Super, his wife's name is Chi-Chi. So
Superstar.
So Goten, of course, he's out there and you having kids labor farming, not a good idea. So we first
driving tractor.
First couple minutes we jump in and we get Super Saiyan, which is really cool. And the Super Saiyan looks really nice, and you can definitely see here in comparison, everything feels much stronger and cleaner, but skinnier at the same time. It's very weird. Less body fat. Where in the original series, you can see definitely from the Super Saiyan 3, it was much more buffer, fatter, stronger in that sense. Now, whenever he goes into the Super Saiyan modes, he feels more skinnier. And just like with the Dragon Balls, we'll get to in a couple minutes, everything's skinnier and smaller, it seems like. But yeah, so we get the good sense of the Super Saiyan there. Cut forward a little bit. Goku's like, I want to train. That's my thing. I want to be, a fighter man. So, what happens is Hercules has all the money from defeating Boo. I don't really remember why there was such a big bounty and money involved, but I believe it was 100 million zenny.
100 million zenny.
100 million zenny, and he gives it to Goku because Vegeta said no. So it's awkward enough that Hercules went to Vegeta when Vegeta is the one that has all the money, in particular because his
he married Bulma.
Bulma, who's filthy stinking rich because of Capsule Corporation. So that's that. But yeah, he gives it all the money to Goku, of course. We learn what Gohan's been about. He's kind of lame. It's really sad. He was one of my favorites.
He gave up fighting and wanted to start studying.
He's studying. He's gonna be a family man. We'll learn. Videl. So if you hate Pan, hey, you get to hate her all over again. That's cool. So, Krillin has hair again. That's cool. So
I don't like it. I didn't say it while we were watching it. I don't like it. I don't like him with hair.
Not crazy about it. It's okay. It's not as bad as in GT when he had the mustache. If you remember that, he had poor man's mustache. Vegeta doesn't have that creepy mustache either. He's literally. It's weird because he kind of looks more like after the Cell Saga than the Buu Saga, in my opinion. And you gotta remember, these guys have been through it all. They've aged, but they really haven't aged at the same time. So,
I mean, when you think about it, though, Android was there, so there is a bit after the Cell Saga in there too.
Yeah, so Android 17, of course, she carries on after the Cell Saga because she survives.
Yeah,
becomes human, has a baby with Krillin. Yeah,
I still find that very cringy.
I do too. Chaozu's there. Everybody loves Shiatsu. Tien's there. He's pretty chill. Piccolo, Dende. Something that throws me off is that Piccolo, I believe, is supposed to be the same age as Gohan. Stop me there and correct me in the comments if I got my history wrong. But I believe he's the same age as Gohan. And you see how Piccolo aged compared to Dende. So the aging on the Namekians is really throwing me off there. But welcome back.
I think halfway through they were just like, you know what? Who cares? No one's going to think this deep into it.
Screw it, everyone. No one ages anymore. Aging is over. Yeah. The only man that ever really aged was this guy right here. So.
Yeah.
I'm aging.
It happens to the best of us. Who else am I missing out that comes back?
Satan.
Mr. Satan, of course. I like to call him Hercules. But yeah, it's Mr. Satan. I mean, that's his actual name. Who else is still? Boo's there. Big Boo. You get everyone back. Like, you really do get everyone back within the first 2 episodes, which is great. Come the 3rd episode is when all of the training starts to happen. Vegeta's like, I want to train. He's like, I had a promise to Trunks.
No, 3rd he went on the
He went on the vacation, yeah. He went on the vacation. He, promised that he was gonna train Trunks and everything.
That's what we forgot when we were mentioning everyone. We forgot to mention Trunks.
Well, we got Trunks and Goten, of course, and for some reason, like I said, it feels like everyone kind of just forgot who they were and forgot how powerful they were. Because you had these guys who could go Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3. Of course, Super Saiyan 4 never happens. So just take that out of the equation. But yeah, they still, they can do all the fusions and everything. We only get 1 fusion throughout the entire part 1, which is a little sad. They do hint. They do a little snippet of saying, hey, what if, Vegeta and I fuse together? Could we insert this villain here, who we're going to get to right now. So on through, I believe, the maybe 2nd or 3rd episode, we learn about Beerus, the god of destruction. He's basically a cat. He's a pussy cat. He's Anubis from Egyptian history. Him and alongside Whis, who's a big blue dude with a little hair going everywhere. I don't know.
Very feminine.
Very feminine. Who I can't remember exactly what he is. He's even more powerful than the god of destruction, Beerus. So that's something to keep in mind. Beerus, like I said, just goes around and just destroys everything. There's this little world of ants who fight a dinosaur. And
he wants to eat the dinosaur meat because he keeps seeing this vision of this figure, and he's like, I want to know who this figure is.
Yeah.
Who's apparently my enemy.
Yeah, enemy. And so Beerus goes on the hunt to find him because he wakens early. Nobody ain't having that. The Kai, you see the Kais, you see Supreme Kai, the little other one who's he has the sword. I can't really remember the Z sword, and the North Kai or whatever his name is, the one who got killed, and they actually showed the thing again where Cell blew up the entire planet and got them killed, and so it was really cool to that they acknowledged he's dead, but he really shouldn't be dead because he's powerful. So they kind of make fun of their own mistakes in that aspect. It's a very we didn't really talk about it much in the disc review, but I guess we should have, is that there's a lot of comedy in this. There's a lot of things that don't make sense, but there's a lot of comedy in it that it masks the stuff that doesn't make sense. Because you'll be laughing a lot during this. It's a good time.
Oh, I know I'm jumping ahead with this, but since you did mention the comedy, I did want to bring it up. When Beerus did break the 4th wall, and he was like, "Oh, how long will it take us to travel
to Earth?"
It's like, no, it wasn't to Earth. It was to
the Kai's planet. Yeah.
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 But
him driving on the vehicle. It's the best part ever.
He was like, about 20 minutes. So you see Beerus kind of turn around. Oh, so about the length of an average anime episode.
Oh yeah,
And then me and Dom just started laughing.
It's great. It's great. There's a giant snake battle, which is weird because they Goten and Trunks go to a hot spring because they want to give toilet water to is it Videl? Because her and Gohan are getting married and they're gonna have a baby. Pan, like I said, and they fight a snake who's in charge of this weird pond or whatever. It's basically just pond water that they give.
Yeah, it's just a giant
It's
snake.
the gift. It's
Casually.
the gift that counts. It's all that matters.
And they showed that. They showed that when she gave it, and she was like, "Is this just regular water?" And then she's like, "Oh, I'm so happy."
It was great. It was great. So like I said, there's a lot of happy, good like moments. But then when it gets serious, it doesn't really get serious. At least in this part for the fighting, it doesn't. Because like, you know, and we'll talk about it. Episode 3 is the big one where we get to. We're kind of going to jump from episode 3 basically to 7, and then from 7 to like 10 and 13 around there. But 3 is the big one. We kind of spend a lot of time on the first 3, at least what it feels like, you know, just bringing everything back to, you know, the beginning, where we left off at. And 3's the one with the animation that we have, like the you know, if you remember from GT, the 3 little Goonies, I can't remember the names right now. Oh, I think it was Oolong or something like that. Maybe not Oolong. I think that's the pig. Sorry, we'll get to the pig.
Yeah, Oolong's the pig.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. That's the little blue dude, like a little girl with black hair, and the ninja fox, the purple fox. They were the ones that wished Goku to be a kid again, which is why we got GT. So, yeah. Their animation was weird, I'll say that. It was very cartoonish. It kind of looked more like a
compared
Marvel
to everyone
cartoon.
else, they looked very like underdone.
Yes. And then there were parts where it kind of looks like Lane's camera right now, a little fuzzy during the battles when you had Goku as, oddly enough, Super Saiyan 3 on the back, which looks really cool when he first goes into it. But when he gets into the fight with Beerus, when he arrives, it kind of looks bad. And you can even see it, like right here on the Beerus fight. That doesn't look that good. Yeah. So yeah, they celebrate Bulma's birthday for the majority of this part 1, it feels like.
For the majority of the whole thing, I feel.
Yeah, so they celebrate it on the cruise ship. We learn more about Beerus has actually been around since King Vegeta, and Vegeta was not having that as a kid. He was like, I'm going to kick his butt one day, because he saw his dad get smashed into the ground. He didn't die. He didn't die from that. Did not die from that, as I talked about with Malin. But yeah, Beerus beat the crap out of Vegeta's dad, and Vegeta, you know, swore he would see that face.
All over a pillow.
Yep, all over a pillow. Beerus is the guy who gets way too dramatic over the little things. He loves pudding. All right, he wants to destroy the world because they won't give him the pudding. Welcome, Dane. They want to freaking rip out his heart because, or rip out King Vegeta's heart because he didn't have the softest pillow.
I was so sad.
So welcome back,
Dane. So, Beerus, like I said,
Let's jump ahead.
We're gonna jump ahead to Beerus pimp slaps Bulma on her birthday, and while that's going on, we learn that Bulma has the Dragon Balls, which are a lot smaller, by the way. They even talked about that. They're a lot smaller.
They mentioned it. They were like, "Oh, these look a lot smaller than what they used to."
So I don't know why, but
Bye, Dane.
Yeah, bye, Dane. Yeah.
But yeah, because then you had Purple Fox and them who wanted the Dragon Balls.
Yeah, they actually just left. They didn't actually take them. So.
Yeah. And then when they came back, which comes later on, the Dragon Balls are already gone.
Yeah, so they're gonna be the ongoing. They're gonna be the ongoing joke. So, Bulma gets pimp slapped by Beerus. Vegeta ain't having that. Boo fights Beerus, gets his butt kicked. I thought he was gonna die. He didn't die, so that's good.
I'm so happy he didn't die.
Yeah. Vegeta fights Beerus, gets his butt kicked. Then Beerus was like, you know what? I'm a fair man. We're gonna decide the fate of your world, like most common men do.
No, that's after like Piccolo, Goku, all of them tried to fight him.
No, not Goku. Not Goku. But Android's no, not even Android. Yeah, Android 17.
Android,
TN.
because it was before Krillin.
Yeah, it was Android 17, TN, and
not Yamcha.
Not Piccolo.
Piccolo.
Gohan.
It was Piccolo.
Gohan. Everyone tried to fight basically, except for a few of them.
Except for Krillin. Literally everyone but Krillin.
He knew he was gonna die, so he didn't do it. I was really rooting for Chiatsu. I was really hoping he'd just be like Chiatsu, and then Tien be like no. I was really hoping he'd go and just blow himself up again. He didn't. So
again.
But it's okay there in that aspect. But yeah, so like I said, Beerus is like, I'm a common man. We're gonna decide the fate of your world with a pig and rock paper scissors, and they go to a draw twice. They really
I like how we just draw it.
They really stretched that episode out.
Oh my god, that one felt so long.
Yes, that one was a long one. The pig lost in the end. Beerus was like, I'm gonna blow this world up. Goku shows up and it was like, wait a minute, I wanna fight. And then they're like, well, can you give us Super Saiyan God? And then
he's like, let's use the Dragon Balls find out. See.
So they get the Dragon Balls out. They summon Shenron, who Shenron's a lot smaller, by the way. A lot, like I said, underlining tone stuff is a lot smaller.
Giant coward the minute he sees.
Yeah, they really. I feel like they killed Shenron a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're just trying to make Beerus seem that much more powerful or what, but Shenron was fearful of him, and they used their wish. Like I said, I don't believe they did, but whatever. He just kind of dipped out of there after he said, hey, in order to get to Super Saiyan God, you guys got to get 5 Saiyans, which is 5 plus 1, because one has to be the one to turn Super Saiyan God. The other 5 have to actually help him. I'm not a big fan of how this happened, because they had Goku the one, Vegeta the second one, Goten and Trunks, who are half, and you have Gohan, who's another half, and then you have a quarter of a Saiyan in Videl's belly, which is Pan, which is really weird because they all go Super Saiyan. Videl even like gets yellow hair. She's not Super Saiyan, but she gets yellow hair because the baby starts glowing in her belly. I don't agree with that because guess what? 1 plus 1 plus a half plus two other halves plus 2 other halves plus a quarter doesn't really equal up to, I guess technically the 6 needed. Yeah, they had
only about 3.
They didn't have enough. They didn't have enough, but they said, screw it, we'll count it. So you be the deciding factor if you've watched Battle of Gods, if that was better in your opinion, how they handled it. It seemed more
I have to rewatch that,
important in some aspects. But yeah, there was hail, there was rain, there was thunder, everything. In the end, after a very long, drawn-out transformation, he becomes Super Saiyan God. Beerus ain't having it. They fight, and they fight.
For about 4 episodes.
And they fight, and they fight, and they fight.
There are shockwaves that might destroy the universe.
Yeah, and they were like, the Kais were like, after the second shockwave or third shockwave, we might die. They don't. Everyone thinks it's okay. Goku loses his ability to go Super Saiyan God because times ran out. He lost all of his, energy to do it, and he's just Super Saiyan, and he fights Beerus there, and they just stop, and the part 1 ends with them laughing. And that's it. But I'll say this, the fight was really good. The fights are really freaking good. Animation during the fights are amazing.
Even when it was like a little fight, like Vegeta going Super Saiyan to try to fight him.
Yeah. Not a fan of how it ended though. Like I said, part 1.
No.
Part 1, you should have not done that to me. You really messed us up there. But yeah, that's a big overview, spoiler of everything of how it goes down in about 20-ish minutes. So we saved you about 4 hours because it's about 4.5 hours roughly. So we'll go by, we'll ask everyone their review of it, their numbers or whatever, and we'll call it a night. So Malin, as my main co-host for this, I'll keep you last. Lane, you came in late. What would you give the fights you saw? Because you saw the first disc fight, which ended off on a cliffhanger also. What was your thoughts on those two that you saw?
10 out of 10. Conan won't let Paraguay go over.
Great.
Okay, Lane.
Mullins. Mullins. It's not here.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I was on mute because like I told you, didn't really watch a ton of this.
Well, from parts you did see.
Yeah. What about it?
As a semi-viewer, what would you give it?
Like I said, it was interesting. Like, it didn't bore me for what I did see.
No filler. No filler.
And like I said, I'm not. You guys obviously know I'm not. I'm in no way, shape, or form a Dragon Ball Z fan. So that says something that it didn't bore me. I could give it probably a 7.5, 8.
All right, Malin, as my co-host for this, what would Alpha Sports Gaming Reborn Alpha Malone,
whatever the channel is, Nathan,
whatever it's called, give it? So
story purposes, I really did enjoy it because, like Mullen said, there really wasn't any boring parts of it. Each thing had the purpose, like you said, no filler. So that I would give the 10 out of 10 too. Fights were amazing. So again, some of the art moments that we caught were kind of choppy, kind of weird, and you saw like the style change. You definitely saw the style change in like mid-episode sometimes. But all in all, I would still give it like a 9. A 9 out of 10 on this.
So, besides my opinion on the actual disc and how it is promoted, the base content itself within the disc, forgetting the price tag, forgetting the, you know, the time crunch down of comparisons, even though it ends off on a cliffhanger.
That's why I couldn't give it a 10. That's why I couldn't give it a 10.
It's not worth a 10, but like I said, I'll definitely go with Malin. Maybe I'll say 9.25. Really enjoyed it. Only thing I really take off is during some of the serious fights, like I said with Beerus, they get very comical in nature. So, because I think, hey, he's trying to destroy your world, so they don't need to be laughing all the time. But I do understand Beerus is supposed to be a very weird character. Majin Buu's different in the sense that the Fat Buu was much different than Super Buu, Evil Buu, and Kid Buu. Beerus is just Beerus, so he's a very unique entity by himself in the world, in the universe. So, that was Dragon Ball Z Super Part 1, Episodes 1 through 13. And with that, I wish you all a great and wonderful night.